Hello, Capricorn. It's Jenny here with your August Tarot Horoscope. So, as always, we're just going to be pulling a single card for the month of August to see what's coming up. I do have a bit of a cold with a sore throat, so I'm probably going to keep this a little bit brief so I don't blow out my voice. But yeah, the first 2/3 of August is Leo season, and then towards the end of the month, we're going to be in Virgo season. So, those are the energies we're going to be working with, and we're just going to see what comes up when a card eventually wants to come out. Until then, I'll just keep shuffling. Ooh. That was a couple cards. Gotta wait till one comes out, which can take a long time. So we'll just keep going. How's your summer been so far, Capricorn? Or winter, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. Whatever. Hope you're having a great time. This is my second illness in the last month and a half. So really loving that. Loving how long this card is taking to come out as well. It's going to be a good one, though, when it does. All right. There we go. The card for the month of August. You have Temperance in reverse. Fabulous. So this is the way the card looks the right way up. So we have this young woman here. She's naked, got this lovely cloudy hair here, and this big kind of fiery wings on the back there. She's got these little chalices that she's pouring fluid into, and then there's kind of these mountains and landscape back there behind her, and it came out upside down like this. So Temperance is a major arcana card, and we are going to see what it has to say for us today. Okay, Temperance, true will. This image differs from all the others in Dali's tarot deck. The colors are relatively pale, creating a somewhat overexposed impression. The image is more like a sketch than a finished painting, and it also seems to be less artful than the others. All these features have given rise to considerable speculation. Rachel Pollack has called the picture a crude comic. Others consider it to be a rather awkward homage to Dali's lady friend Amanda Lear, while still others simply suspect that Dali didn't know what to do with a card called Temperance. In the upper left corner, we can see some letters painted over in blue, but these also fail to explain the true meaning of the card. Either it's just a blunder, a changeling among the 78 cards, or its meaning lies in a different realm altogether. Even in ancient Greece, long before the first tarot cards were created, temperance was considered to be one of the cardinal virtues. It has to do with the right measure of all things and with basic human creativity. We will not find our own true measure, our art, and our own style of living by looking up to idols and masters. What seems to be a foundling among Dali's tarot cards is really a provocation. The card urges us to become active as an artist and a master of the art of life in designing our own lives. Traditionally, Temperance is considered to be a fire card. Purification through fire sloughs off all dross, allowing true will to be reborn. This can only be recovered by giving up the position of commentator and spectator and becoming an active participant in life. Practical advice. Existing facts may be melted down and newly forged. Joyfully change the world and begin to play with new possibilities. Establish your own creativity workshop. In your daily life, find a time and place to take a break and tarry a while on a regular basis. Okay, Temperance. So the phrase attributed to Temperance is really the right thing at the right time. So it's all about that balance of knowing when something is in its correct timing and when it's sort of overstayed its welcome. But Temperance is going to look different for everybody. Temperance for some people is going to look like 50-50, always being in balance. For other people, it's going to look like being 100% this and nothing here. And then when it's the correct time, being 100% here and nothing there. So Temperance doesn't have to look flatlined. And it also doesn't have to be feel erratic. It's just about being in the right place at the right time. And this is an interesting challenge in a world where specifically we've experienced a lot of different religions or social structures that have all been about trying to find the right way to be. Like it's a point, like it's an object of destination and arrival that will have the peak health, the one way you're supposed to look, the one job you're supposed to have, the one moral structure you're supposed to behave with, and once you find it, you can stay there. And it's this trajectory of this striving with this idea that then things will just stay perfect, instead of this idea of cycles and balance, that what is right at one time will be wrong at another time. What is right for somebody else might be wrong for a different person. And so there's a lot more ambiguity and variance and cycles to what the right thing to do is at a certain time. And we've caused all untold levels of destruction by seeing somebody doing something different and seeing that it's different from what we do and saying, well, you must be wrong. I'm going to make you do it my way. Or then we cast doubt on ourselves and think, well, I guess I must be wrong because you must be right. Instead of allowing that we can both be right. We're in a different stage, in a different time, and we're undergoing temperance of what is the right thing at the right time, and it's going to look different. So with understanding how, or with this phenomenon of personal temperance and trying to find what is the right thing to do at the right time, you really do have to be tapped into your sense of self and your desires and your will. What is it that you want to achieve, which is going to be very tied into your desires and your needs and your fears and your wants, so that you can always be checking in against what is it that I really desire. And am I working towards that at the right measure? Am I working when I need to work? Am I resting when I need to rest? A lot of the time when we look at things as this race or this goal to the finish, we think we should always be working towards it. Any time that we're resting is time that was taken away from this arrival at this paradise or this perceived finish line, instead of recognizing the cycles and looking at the seasons of things. Work when it's time to work, rest when it's time to rest. The sun's up when it's up, and the sun's down when it's down. And we can't force it to be any other way, and nor should we force that cycle to change in ourselves. So it's best to understand it and to work with it, and then we can tie our will and what we want to achieve into the most healthful way of doing things, and then being in right relation to our own energy cycles and then to the needs of other people around. So Capricorn, this is for, at least for a lot of you, having purpose and having a goal is something that gives you a lot of value and feels really really true to yourself, is to be working towards something. And if you're working towards something as a goal where there's a trajectory and a finish line, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But are you looking at your entire life that way, where you always need to be working towards a goal? Or are you looking at your life in a cycle where you have periods of goal or working towards a goal, periods of achieving it, then you can celebrate, then maybe you rest, then maybe you think about another goal, then maybe you work towards that goal, and then maybe you celebrate. And so you actually are going through these different cycles where it's not all a straight line where you have to work all the time. You can always be moving towards what you want, but rest is a part of that. Sleeping is a part of health. So that's an important thing to think about. Some of you, I mean, a lot of you get a bad rap for being workaholics. And for some of you, that might be a struggle, or feeling like if you don't have a goal or purpose that you kind of lost a piece of yourself. So this is really just this reminder that what you're trying to find is the balance, and that's what's going to really be helping you achieve whatever it is you want, is knowing what that balance is for you. And for some of you, that's going to have to be resting 90% of the time. We all have very different abilities and energy levels, and there can be a lot of really rough things that come up with, like hustle culture, that can really shame people that have really low energy or poor health that only allows them to work at a certain pace, and they can feel like they're left behind. Well, your temperance experience is going to look very different than somebody else's. What's right for you is going to look different than what's right for somebody else. So really try to feel that confidence, and that's going to roll us into the astrology of this month, where we're in Leo season right now until 2/3 of the way through August. Leo season is a great time to work on confidence and to really say that in a crowd of people, I am a unique being and I deserve everything that I desire, as long as I'm, applying towards it in a healthy way. And I'm really quite fabulous without having to earn it. Understanding and recognizing that fire of value that we all have, and not trying to outshine other people and trying to take away from what they have, but not shying away from the light that you have and the value you have and the desires and goals that you have. And just that just kind of like walking the red carpet kind of feeling of Leo is a really, really, really valuable energy to tap into when you are looking at other people in this world and trying to feel confident that what it is that you need at this time is correct for you, even if it looks different than other people. So really trying to have confidence in your will. If you're able to tap into what your will is, your desires and your needs, and not shy away from them, not feel embarrassed by them, not feel judged for them. Borrowing that Leo confidence for this season is going to really, really help you land into that. And then towards the end of the month, where we're in Virgo season, that's another earth sign, so that's going to be a really complementary energy for you. Virgo season is going to really be more about, okay, if you've tapped into your will and what it is that you're maybe trying to achieve, then Virgo's going to be like, let's start to plan things out. Let's be efficient about what it is we want. We're going to be manifesting things. We're still pretty flexible, so this is a great time if like plans are going to change a bit, or to receive input from somebody else and say like, okay, yeah, maybe we can work that and integrate it, and being really fastidious on the details so that you are in a good position to move forward, and whichever part of the cycle you're at. Is going to be a really great time towards the end of August, where you can start to be like, get really, really exacting on the details and have fun with that. So that's what's coming up for you this month. This first 2/3 is all about building that confidence and connecting your confidence to that will. And this is a major arcana card, so these themes tend to be longer lasting. They're not just for the flavor of the month. So this is a theme that's going to be playing out for quite a while for you. So again, that patience of knowing that you don't have to tie it all up in a bow by the end of August. This is something that's going to be going on for a while. So you can take your time with it. So if you have any other questions, especially to do with this Leo season, do check out my Leo season forecast, the astrology workshop there. It's on my YouTube channel. It's a pay what you can workshop, super accessible, but I appreciate all donations, and that's going to give you a lot more specific info on the transits that are going to be happening, so helping you out with some of the energies you'll be working with, as well as another collective tarot reading. So do check that out. Otherwise, you're going to be playing with Temperance this month, Capricorn. Best of luck, and I'll see you next month.